A shadow gnawing at me, I can't be free. You can't deny you're hurting, can't you try? You're holding back, don't hold back, don't walk away. I can see no way out of here. I can see no way out of here. I can see no way out of here. Ooh, I can see no way out of here. You know, I don't actually talk the way I sing. Something strange happens when I speak. Thoughts move faster. They are like right now, very fast. And I end up stammering. From a simple search, I found that nearly 1% of the world's humans stammer beyond childhood. That's a lot of us, fair amount of us. And yet, it's often seen as an impediment instead of being accepted as just another thing. I'm Aditya N. I'm a music composer, producer, and a singer. And my work spans films and shows such as Class, for which I co composed all the original songs, The Royals, among many others. Recently, I composed a song called Gilia for a film called Tu Ya Main. I come from a household that has always been supportive. The people around me accept me for who I am. But can we say the same for many others around us? I'm not so sure. When I was younger and still working my life out, people often said that I should fix this thing because I might not land a good job and would end up leading a mediocre life. And I remember thinking, why? You know, it has never really affected me in that way. So why should I put in the effort, time, and money to try and be like everyone else? I can sing and I'm grateful, but I don't expect that ability from anyone else around me. So why this expectation of me? Now, don't try to get me wrong here. I'm not trying to imply that I'm better than anyone else. If anything, I believe that I have a lot to learn every day. However, speech is something that's just not been in my hands, just as many other things are not in anyone else's hands. Accepting myself the way I am has led to a drastic shift in how I see my life. I'm not saying that I see this impediment as a blessing, nor am I trying to glorify it, and nor am I trying to make it look bad. It simply is, I just am. We are just who we are. You have to cut out the noise around you. The naysayers are plenty. And the hard part is that only you can do this for yourself. Music gave me a new lease on life. I found a home in musical spaces. I sang with a collective of musicians for 8 years, along with my band, before I moved to the big bad Mumbai. And I mean, I stammered the thought of it till now, in 2013. And soon after, in 2015, I was a contestant on a show called The Stage, and because of the show, produced my first song for a film with the acclaimed Indian composer duo Vishal Shekhar, sung by Arijit Singh. That song is called Urza and is from a film called Akira. As a young adult here in Delhi, I was surrounded by some of the best musicians, folks I'm lucky to call my friends still now. I see this as a core thing in my life. Making music is not strictly professional. you're sharing your ideas, things you carry inside of your heart. You're laying out your experiences in front of your collaborators, all for the sake of making a good song or bringing a film scene to life. I tell every young person who enters our field that the reason we chose music is because we have fun. Very important. We have fun making it. In that process, we build amazing relationships of a kind that last a lifetime or help us get through certain phases of our lives. The fame, the glamour, success, they all fade away very, very fast. Gelia was out a month ago, it's gone, it's done. But I am in this to have fun, to make great friends, and hopefully, when I look back at the story of my life, it'll be good. My emphasis on the fun we have and the relationships we build is a reminder that we must keep our feet on the ground, remain true to our art, and never stop being curious. Very, very important, because curiosity brings new ideas bring new sounds create new music. And while it won't happen every day, when it does, it feels like a breakthrough. My curiosity for orchestral scoring for films led me to try and fail for years. But when I finally got the chance to do it under a tight schedule for Vikramaditya Motwane's show called Jubilee on Prime, all those years of what felt like failure showed up in ways that helped me make better, smarter choices as a musician. Honing your skill set is very important, especially when things are going well and you get more work. Practicing every day is built on years of love for what you do. Some people might wonder why it's important to fix things that are not broken. The answer is simple. When you feel too comfortable in your life as an artist, your ability to experiment, and that same sense of wonder you had when you started begins to fade away. And that is why I'm here, putting myself in a very uncomfortable place. I've chosen to challenge myself time and again in different points of my career. Recently, I took a break from scoring for films for a few months, and that created space for me to experiment with my music in new ways. And that was when I made this song for the film, Tuya Mein. By the way, Jelia was not made for the film. We made the song for fun, and it went into the film. You never really know what life has in store for you until you allow for space for things to happen. This doesn't mean that you should keep saying no to work. In fact, I'd often say yes to things, to projects that I would not choose, especially when I was much, much younger. I'm still young. But I say this because when you work across different aspects of a field you're curious about, you create space to learn and absorb all kinds of things. And I, the 21-year-old boy who stammered, continues to, who had phones hung up on him because of it, still happens, who had moved places on a whim, didn't have a lot to choose from, I took up anything that came my way. The first thing I did was become a sound assistant for a play. I was there. If you need help to just to sort out your things for a basic recording of some sort, I'm your guy. Jobs adjacent to what I do also help me understand how I need to communicate with everyone around me. And in my field of work, communication is everything. So, how does a person with this speech impediment manage to do this? Communication. For starters, there's no choice. Baat to karni, but you have to do it, and you have to learn to find your workarounds. Small example, I must have changed about 15 words because I can tell when I'm about to stammer right now. But in a larger sense, it circles back to acceptance. One way to get there is by becoming so incredibly good at anything else you do. And when that happens, you began to see yourself as someone who can, as opposed to someone who can't just do one thing as with like everyone else can. You begin to see yourself as somebody who can do whatever they want to and are largely content with their life also. The moment that happened for me, I began to see a shift in how I reacted to the like the normal responses anyone has when they hear me speak or stammer or when the comments don't stop, because those are in plenty. I've been told to go to a guy and uh, other jharpook as well. Why? But very importantly, I do not alienate anyone who laughs at me. We're all human. We all laugh at things without knowing. It's important for me to realize and recognize that a person is not defined by a single action. And most of the time, I let go of it. Sometimes I react too because I'm human. But the understanding I carry with me is simple. I'm okay. It just takes some time at times. And I'm lucky that I get to surround myself with the beautiful friends I have, the experience I get each day, and to make music the way I want to, and to learn something new every day. That's my goal. Thank you.